Don't go out with a girl who dresses a certain way or who's an e-girl who's on OnlyFans and then expect to change her. That is the most pathetic shit, and I see it so often.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
Hi! I'm just gonna hop up here and let you guys in on what I'm thinking about today. I'm actually in the middle of doing a vlog, a travel vlog. Crazy, I'm making like 4 different pieces of content at once. Holy shit, the world is my oyster. I am really getting back into it. Anyway, I am in Reno with my man, and he is taking some depots for this case where everyone just kind of lives in Reno. Reno is part of Nevada, so occasionally he has to come up to the butthole of the state and take some depots or go to court or something. So that's what we're here for today. And I decided to do a day vlog. I'm doing spicy content. I'm doing girlfriend catches you with your cuckold content, as well as doing an invisible woman thing on totally different pieces of content. Though I could combine it together, you know, like invisible woman comes in while you're watching cuckold porn, whatever. Anyway, so I'm doing a ton of stuff today. And while I was getting ready and while I was filming my video, my fucking vlog that you will see soon, I was watching a video by Soft White Underbelly, which I think I've mentioned in the past. I watch a lot of that channel. I just find it so interesting, sometimes depressing, to see the way the other side live, to just, you know, test my empathy sometimes and, you know, see if I can empathize with like a child molester or a drug addict. The latter a little bit easier than the former, but I can do both, which is cool. I like that about myself. Anyway, this time I was just watching, I think it was like a relationship coach or a psychologist or something, and it was entitled The Female Perspective on Relationships or something like that. And she got to a point while I was doing my makeup where she started talking about how the things she used to be super attracted to in her 20s or 30s or something, or previously, she was no longer attracted to at all. The things that she used to think made a man masculine, she realized are just tainted with this brush of typically insecurity. And I relate to this so fucking much. If you've watched my channel for any number of years, there have been about 12 or 13 at this point. I used to be super into the most masculine presenting man possible. I like just feeling tiny, being thrown around, having a guy that's super possessive, having a guy that has like the biggest muscles possible. Look at mine, by the way. My God, I'm a fucking jacked bitch when I try to be. Anyway, thankfully it doesn't show when I'm just chilling around. You can kind of see the shoulder caps, but you know, got a little more body fat on me since I've been violently ill and extremely overworked this past year. Can't wait to get that off and show you them shoulder caps even more, especially with the new titties. I feel like since I got the new titties, life has just been exorbitantly hard for me, but we're getting back on track, and I'm learning so much from this process. Also, this lighting here, this setup, I just love traveling and shooting, you guys. Last time I was in Reno, I was at a totally different hotel with a totally different setup. The lighting was hitting me like a goddess, but I think I like this one better. I'm actually sitting on like a giant hunk of actual tree. I know it can support my weight because it supported the weight of 500 feet of more of tree, so I think I'm good here. And as you guys know, I always have tons more energy when I travel and shoot different places. Also, I'm trying to get over my flight anxiety. So all of those things together just making me a better person, more resilient, having a hard year, all these things. What was I talking about? Anyway, watching this video and hearing what this lady said, it really sparked in me the conversations I've had with my friend Brittany after her like various relationships or dates where she's talking about like things that she likes in guys and things that she no longer likes in guys because she realizes the root cause of it. And I've always told her that I am the same. Like, I used to be really into masks. By the way, I saw this meme today and I got chills just reading it because of how hot it was. Like, oh my God, it's almost time to like chase her. And like, first of all, my favorite climate ever, like a Seattle fall climate, and then chase her and breed her with a mask on. But yes, I used to like masks. I used to like serial killers. I used to like Slipknot-esque type things because it was just so scary. But like when you actually intellectualize it and think about it, and this is more of like a side kink than like actually what I'm looking for in a man. I'm not sitting here on Tinder. Well, I'm not sitting here on Tinder at all, mainly because when I was trying to be on Tinder to create a throuple for myself, it kept deleting me saying that I was using someone else's pictures. But nowadays, all these girls on OnlyFans are are on there and they get to keep their fucking accounts. Why am I the fake celebrity? I digress. I'm not sitting on Tinder trying to look for guys with masks. But what I would have in the past, if I were to be open and dating, I would have looked for like bodybuilders and, you know, men who, you know, like were always like, what are you doing? Where are you? Like all this stuff. I would want that overbearing, and my body kind of wants that overbearing overprotectiveness because it used to signal to me masculinity, like a male counterpart, like being strong and being pushy and controlling. I kind of find that thing hot, but the more I healed myself and my attachment style, the less I found that attractive. And it's funny because I never got with a guy that was pushy or controlling about the way that I looked or the way that I dressed. Coincidentally today, alongside that, I also posted this post. It was actually scheduled a few days before, so it wasn't like something that I posted thinking about the video I was going to create today. But I posted this post where I was like, me and the man who lets me dress as hot as I want when going out. I have never ever dated a man or even thought about dating a man who was like, cover your cleavage, or you can't do the job you want to do. You can't be a model or a YouTuber that talks about sex or an OnlyFans girl. I would have never even entertained that kind of guy, but I can totally see how for some women that falls into like a more masculine mindset. And this is why I so vehemently push against this whole masculine archetype thing, this like, what is it called? Like the Andrew Tate type guys that say you have to basically control your woman, or you can't let your woman go out and dress this certain way because then, you know, that presents options, or what is the word they usually use? It presents temptation. First of all, that's not how women really work. I saw this video today that also ties into this, and it was like the hot girl's never gonna cheat. And the premise of the video, it was like a lesbian talking about whichever one in the relationship is the hot girl, she's probably never gonna cheat. And she broke it down by saying hot girls, or like beautiful women, especially women, because women are not as hurting for mates, and they're not like, it's just so easy to find a partner, or so easy to get sex, and they're so much less, visually at least, sexual. I wouldn't say that women are less sexual, but I would say that they are less likely to see a guy and their pussy just explodes and they just need to fuck that guy. You know, like if you treat a woman right, she's gonna be pretty sexual, right? But like they're not gonna be sexual in the same way. Whereas a guy, if he goes out, he gets a little drunk and a hot girl's hitting on him, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be really tempting to fuck this girl. Women are not like that. Like women are not gonna see some drunk fucking frat boy, even if he's kind of attractive, and he's like, oh babe, I wanna fuck you. It's like, yeah, no shit. This happens to me every 5 seconds. Going back to that video I saw on Instagram, the reel about how the hot girl never cheats. The hot girl doesn't see attention as something that's sparse or that's special because they get it so often. It's not gonna like feed their ego in that way. Like they're not gonna get attention from some guy and be like, holy shit, now I'm gonna fuck him because I finally feel special for once in my life. Like that's not really how it works. So that manosphere mindset of like, you have to make sure your girl doesn't go out and show cleavage, because then if she shows cleavage and looks attractive to other men, then other men are gonna approach her and she's gonna have temptation. And how could she say no? There's temptation. I, at least, speaking from personal experience, have never ever been turned on by a guy that I saw out at a bar or a club. And yeah, I kind of agree that it's a little bit of a turnoff if your partner's always out at a bar and a club without you. But I don't really think that dressing sexy when you're doing that is so much of a modifier. I think it's the fact that they want to go out so much without you to a place that really has no substance other than to try to fuck, right? Like there's no reason to go to a club other than to try to fuck. I guess some girls like to dance or hang out with their single girlfriends, and then you just kind of, I don't know, that there's way more nuance in that. But the whole like dressing a certain way, I would offer that is always born of a higher level of insecurity than it is security. Now, guys will say, I just have preferences. Sure, but let's go down that logic path of, okay, you have the preference of not having your girlfriend dress sexy. If your girlfriend doesn't want to dress sexy, if you find a girl that just doesn't care about it and you're like, I would prefer she didn't anyway, perfect. But if you have a girl that wants to dress sexy, you are literally saying that like, my preference is so strong that I want to control what you want to do and say, do not do that, and then hurt you a little bit or make you a little bit less yourself for my preference. I would argue that if you have a preference like that and the girl has a preference to feel sexy, to dress up, whatever, then you guys aren't compatible. But if you want to stay together, you're literally saying that this preference, that have you even thought about why you have that preference in the first place, by the way, is actually worth making someone you love fucking change, or suppressing the artistic expression or the just life expression of a person you love. That to me is like, I can't really see that as anything other than insecurity, because otherwise you would understand that that person is who they are and you're gonna let them be who they are. Like, I'm never gonna tell Hunter how to dress. Like, I'll ask him like, hey, could you like wear this thing with me? Like, sometimes I make him like match with me or whatever, but like, he's not against it. It doesn't change who he is. He was gonna wear a green shirt or a black shirt, and I happened to ask if he'll wear a green shirt, and he's like, sure, you know, that makes more sense. We're fucking matching. To change the whole style of a woman's preferred way that she shows herself to the world is... that girl's just not for you, bro. What does it signal to you that that girl wants to dress that way? Do you think that she's doing it to find a new mate and just hypergamy her way up to the next dude? Do you think if she's finally found the guy that she's comfortable with and she wants to marry, that she's like, yeah, I no longer want to look hot when I go out, or I no longer like attention from other people, or when someone's head turns, it no longer boosts my ego a little bit? No. What? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe there are some girls out there that only dress hot and don't even like it just to get male attention so they can finally find a husband. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the girl who is in a relationship with you. And if you're in a relationship with her, you should assume it's committed. And then she wants to do something irrespective of you. And you are like, holy fuck, I don't trust that you can say no to temptation. And I think that other men looking at you bothers me. So here's another argument. I want to feel special. I want to feel like I'm the only one that gets to see your titties naked, or your titties like this, or whatever. Like, it makes you feel not special that other guys can see the top half of my boob or a slit that goes high up enough to see the bottom of my butt. Like, there's so many ways that a girl can make you feel special, and one of those is being in a committed relationship with you, choosing you as their partner, being faithful to you, like following the other rules of the relationship that have more bearing on the character of the person and whether or not they're a good partner to you. This superficial reason that, by the way, has some benefits. Like, if you're going out with a super hot girl, every guy is gonna be envious of you. Like, everyone's gonna be like, hell yeah, dude. And like, everyone's gonna want her and you're gonna feel like a king. Like, there are benefits to it as well if you can get past the, like, for some reason someone hurt me so I no longer feel special because like my girl's expressing herself in a certain way. And I think you can take this further into like non-monogamy, but at the same time, that's not the same argument because of the nuance. Like, for instance, I'm secure enough to let my girl fuck other guys. That comes with a lot of drawbacks. That comes with a lot of downsides. There are arguably usually background reasons why someone wants to do that sort of thing, and there are a lot more risks, so you both have to really enjoy it. You're just not compatible with someone if one person wants to be polyamorous and the other person does not, because you are both assuming such a huge risk. But the risk for dressing sexy is really nothing. It's made up, it's over-exaggerated to the point where it just wholly signals that it's an insecurity thing, or that it's a culture thing that's so ingrained in you that you probably really never even thought about why. There are a lot of things when we grow up that we're taught that we don't think about why, because it just feels so wrong or so right, because it was pushed onto us in our formidable years before we had the ability to reason, that I would push you guys to actually reason now that you're an adult. What are the logical reasons why I feel this way? What is the logical reason why I feel like I want to tell my girlfriend how to dress, or it makes me feel uncomfortable? What is that reason? Does this girl seem like she's gonna be faithful to me? Does she make me happy otherwise? Is she dressing sexy for some other reason? Does it feel shady when she does it? Or does it just feel bad to me, but I have no reason to believe that it's shady, like logically? There's so many questions that you should be asking yourself, and the manosphere push of like, you need to control everything that your girlfriend does, otherwise she's like not a queen or whatever. She needs to have like one body count. Like, I agree that there's oftentimes background problems with someone who has like a body count higher than 3 digits, but like, there's still subtle nuance, and that is a lot crazier than a girl who just wants to show some cleavage when she goes out. I would argue that the bigger problem is that she wants to go out in the first place. Anyway, that got a little off topic there, but there are a lot of things that I used to think are super hot. Like, I used to really like the possessiveness. Now, the possessiveness is such a turnoff. Like, I love, and I find it so sexy that, like, Hunter doesn't care how I dress. Like I said, once again, the Instagram post, me and the man who lets me dress as hot as I want when we go out. It's funny because in the beginning, it wasn't actually that way. Like, he never had a problem with what I did for work, but he did sometimes have a problem when his work would coincide with my self-expression of dressing sexy, which I don't think he'll mind me sharing this, but like in the beginning, when I met him, he was a brand new lawyer and he had worked his whole life, busted his ass in law school, got his bar license, did all of this stuff, got into a really good firm, and was just making a name for himself. And then I come along and I'm like this hoe-looking creature, you know? And sometimes at work functions specifically, he would be a little uneasy if I was myself or dressed the way that I wanted to. Now, this is very patently born out of insecurity for his job, right? Some people would argue like, okay, like you need to have a certain level of respect in order to like grow, but he was at a firm that liked me a lot, liked who I was, knew what I did, was never going to have a problem with what I did for work or hold it against Hunter. Like the coolest, chillest people, he got at the best spot. He is so lucky and they are so lucky to have him. Oh my God, some of the cases he's settled, and he is such an aggressive litigator, and it's so cool to see the passion that he has for just overachieving. It's amazing. So anyway, he had this insecurity about how good he was as a lawyer and his place that he rightfully had in this firm. And so he was insecure about me dressing a certain way, not because of his own ego, but because of his job, right? Now, flash forward 5 years, he doesn't give a fuck what I do or who I am. And it's so beautiful to be with someone that allows you to be exactly who you are and who trusts you to do your best to not overtly embarrass him. You know, like there are some things that I try not to do, like get way too drunk or something, which I don't even like to do in the first place. But let's say that would be one of them, like getting like really embarrassingly drunk or doing something embarrassing. It's not about stifling who I am as a person, which is like a sexual person who likes to dress up, who likes to do makeup, who has a certain look, who has a certain persona, who has a certain job. He's not stifling any of who I am. He's just asking that I be respectful. And I think some people combine the two and they don't realize that some of the self-expression that comes with the way that you dress and the way that you look and present yourself in the world is actually like who you are and who you want to be. So they just think it's disrespectful to dress a certain way, like in front of family or in front of whatever the fuck. And it's like, yeah, sure, but like I'm not gonna be an entirely different person. Like, yeah, sure, maybe in that post, that Instagram post that I made, maybe I wouldn't wear that completely see-through dress when I go to like some kind of new lawyer function. But I'm not gonna not have a little bit of cleavage. I'm not going to downplay the shape of my body or feel uncomfortable in a square dress that covers everything that's like made of thick textiles that doesn't fit me right, and actually go out and feel bad about myself just so that some people don't go like, oh my God, is he dating an e-girl? Is he dating a porn star? Like, he doesn't care. He loves me. He knows who I am, and he trusts that I'm going to respect what he does and love who he is. And I think that is so fucking amazing. So that's why I push back so hard on dating, and always have, on dating men who try to tell you what kind of job you should have or how you should dress or who you should present yourself to be in the world. Don't go out with a girl who dresses a certain way or who's an e-girl or who's on Twitch or who's on OnlyFans and then expect to change her. That is the most pathetic shit, and I see it so often. I hear all the time about girls having problems dating in the industry, and I've never had that problem. Granted, I was with a guy for like 15 years or whatever who was like my partner. He never had a problem with it, and I didn't have to do a lot of dating, but like I just do not gravitate around guys who bring that energy. Like I would instantly be gone. It's so unattractive to me because I can see through what some girls might see as like, oh my God, it's so masculine. He cares how I dress. He's telling me what to do. I see right through that into the insecurity that is like, can I keep a girl like this? If a girl's super hot like this, I'm not special. I have to be special through her. No, you're special because she chooses that you are, and you already have your own specialness and you're a complete human being without her. So if she decides to like cheat on you because she has a low-cut dress and gets horny one night, fuck her. Let her go. She wasn't for you anyway. Fucking rejection is redirection or whatever the fuck. Obviously. So how could that not be insecurity, in my opinion? Another thing that I used to really like was, I really like masculine, strong, buff men. I still like it. I still think it's visually beautiful. But I've kind of always liked the more like bare looking guy. Like I never liked the super shredded looking guy. Not because of the normal reasons that girls usually don't, which is like, oh my God, he takes care of his body too much. Like I love guys that take care of their bodies and are really disciplined, and it helps me a lot be disciplined with myself. I just really like a man that looks kind of like a king, you know, like for some reason he's just so masculine and buff that if we were in like a hand-to-hand combat situation, he would just destroy the other dude or whatever. But also looks like he eats well, because I feel like when they're really lean and they have like a six-pack and they like have to eat lettuce and shit. And obviously I know how to fucking do fitness, but to me, my lizard brain signals that man eats lettuce and cares way too much how lean his body is, and he can't survive a winter, and this man just looks feminine to me. So I never liked abs, ever. And Hunter's trying to get down to 195, which has a little bit of abs, but my God, when he gets a little fatter, I'm just like, ooh, yeah. But now I'm starting to see past that, and I'm like, you know what, dude? Obviously, I want a guy to be fit. That has to coincide with my lifestyle. If a guy's not fit, if a guy's not into fitness, if a guy's not lifting, I don't like it. And visually, I love some muscles. He's perfect for that. He can go from bare to a little lean, and he always has those nice arms, those nice shoulders, that hairy chest, so cozy. Oh my God, just has the best things ever. It's funny to see through my lizard brain sometimes into what the reasoning actually is. And I think everyone should introspect as to why they're attracted to the things that they're attracted to, because oftentimes it's something that's comfortable and not something that's good for you. So another thing that I liked in my ex that I no longer really like, because I see it as just like pure, I don't really want to put a label on it, but I see it as bad for me, is being so blunt to everyone and so asshole-ish that it like causes problems. I don't like that anymore. I realized that I was feeling very negged for literally no reason, and it was born of like insecurity or like competition or something, or to bring me down to that person's level, or to try to break my confidence. So that negging type shit just looks like pure, unadulterated pussy ass insecurity now. So any kind of negging that a guy does that isn't actually playful banter, I can smell the difference now, and it is not interesting to me at all. So overly controlling shit was never that interesting to me, but I can see way clearer through it that it has no root in masculinity. Masculinity is sturdy, in my opinion. It is logical. It is rock-like. It does not project insecurities in a way that uses masculinity to harm anyone else. So it's not like the, bro, you looking at my girl? What the fuck? It's not that. Sorry, microphone. Expertly placed right off screen, and I just screamed into it, so I apologize profusely to your ears. But yeah, none of that shit is attractive to me at all. Like, there's not even a lizard brain moment where when I see two guys going at it for something so fucking petty that I think that's attractive at all. Like, a strong man, a masculine man would be like, hey, I'm gonna de-escalate because I want to be here to like provide for my family and kids, and like I have nothing to prove with you. You're just angry, you're just insecure. You go on your way. Obviously, if someone attacks me or my woman, I'm gonna turn into a rabid dog and put you down, but like I'm not gonna be the person who puts us in danger. And I like that. I like stability. There's nothing more grounded than the man I'm with now. Like, this man literally does not start shit with people. He does not try to like prove anything to anyone else. He does not tell me what to do in the slightest. In fact, like, we have each other's location and I ask like, do you look or anything? And he's like, I mean, just to see if you're coming home or something. There's like not a like insecure bone in his body, and I could absolutely be at any point in the day, like I'm home most of the time. I could be cheating, I could be breaking our rules, I could be pushing boundaries. He's not checking, he's not looking, nothing. He's never like, why'd you do that? What are you doing? Oh my God, like ever. And it actually feels, it puts confidence in me that I can be that way as well, because I know I'm not doing anything. He doesn't feel like I'm doing anything, and it just feels so good. Once you get in a healthy relationship, it feels so good. And I'm not saying that we started healthy, because we started as polar opposites on the attachment scale, but it's just really cool when you kind of grow up and you realize that all of these things that used to signal certain things were so unhealthy and so toxic, and now they signal something completely different, and it feels right when you finally feel that rightness. So let me know in the comments if there's anything that you used to be attracted to in your wounded teenage years, whether you're a guy or a girl, that now is like kind of gross to you, or that you can at least see through the lizard brain feeling of being like, oh yeah, that's so hot, and now you're like, oh, that's not that great. I'm trying to think of like a male male version of this for women that happens often. Maybe like the bitchy girl. With a lot of girls, it's like the aloof guy, or the guy that negs you and doesn't care, or the guy that doesn't call is the guy that's the most interesting. And it's really just because you're trying to like validate yourself and be like, see, please love me because someone in my past didn't love me. And I just want to prove that someone who's aloof can be changed to love me. And that means that I have some kind of worth in the world. Find worth within yourself. Stop trying to change people. Stop trying to force relationships. And if it really is your preference and you've done the hard work and you just do not like the idea of your girl dressing sexy, find someone whose image and whose happiness doesn't revolve around that kind of thing. Someone who compliments you instead of trying to change someone who just isn't for you through insecurity and control. I hope you guys like this video, like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you did. And make sure to watch my Reno vlog. That's gonna like show you everything that I did behind the scenes. It's also gonna show you little tidbits of the things I don't usually show you on here. I don't know how much of it, but you'll get to see like a day in my life while traveling. Love you. Talk to you soon. And I hope you grow into a strong, big, healthy man or woman. Maybe not a big woman, but you catch my drift. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Bye, guys.